Hello, yes, and welcome to another episode of MLS Earning. Will I be bringing to you my predictions for week 16? Yep, I don't even know where we are halfway in the season, maybe? I don't know. Perfect, thank you very much for joining me. Yes, my name is Sean, and if you're new to this, hit that subscribe button. And if you are new to this is my predictions. I give in very unreliable predictions to a lot of MLS games where nobody really knows what will happen, because we've seen mayhem. We see Orlando doing very well this season, which I don't think anybody saw. We saw Philadelphia doing not too bad. We see Columbus Crew at the top of the table. We see DC United at the bottom, below Inter Miami, who are one above, but still. So these things happen. So as I said, this is predictions. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, tell me I'm a dick, I don't care. So may as well crack on to the first one, which is Nashville against Minnesota. Nashville, who I'm pretty impressed with. They're not doing great in the league, but they're keeping steady, and they're, as I said, they're above DC United, Inter Miami, LA Galaxy, for crying out loud. Even Chicago Fire, who we thought at the start of the season wouldn't have been too bad, because they didn't do too bad against the Minnesota team, who are 9th in the league. They're not great away from home. They the last 4 games they haven't won one, but Nashville have out of the 4 games won 2. But I think Minnesota are probably the better all-rounder team in this one, even though the Nashville has probably a better defense. So my prediction is probably would be a tight one, a draw, like 1-1. I think Minnesota are probably that better team. They could win this one, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. The next one is per Nashville against high-flying Orlando. Orlando are I basically, at the very start of the season, kind of said, no, well, they're going to lose this one. Well, they're going to lose this one. And basically, kind of the opposite of Atlanta. Kind of went, well, they're bound to win this one. They're going to win this one. See, it's very hard. So saying that, Atlanta are very poor at the moment, even though that they won their game last weekend, 2 nights ago, against DC United. But even DC United are just that poor, which is, you can't really take that much away from it. Orlando are probably the, as I said, informed team at the moment. They won their game last time, so they beat Atlanta plenty of times now this season. So I'm going to go for something similar. I'm going to go for like a 3-1. Sorry, Atlanta, even though you got 2 Irish players playing for you, but sorry, 3-1. The next one is New York Red Bulls against Inter Miami. This one's going to be on TV, because I think every Inter Miami game is going to be on TV here, because some kid called David Beckham apparently is playing for them. Not playing for the wonders of them, but anyway, I digress. The next one, obviously, is going to be New York Red Bulls against Inter Miami. New York Red Bulls are not doing fantastic this season. They're like mid-table at 13th, whereas Inter are at bottom, second from bottom, sorry. Inter Miami's won the 1 game away from home, and New York Red Bulls won their last game away from home. So saying that, you would kind of suspect this game to be very tight. I'm actually thinking, with Higuain now starting to get more up to speed with the game, Lewis Morgan actually scoring goals. New York Red Bulls are still very shaky at the moment, even though they've got a brand new manager today. Saying that, because I recorded the same thing, I'd done this yesterday, it was crap, and then today they got a manager, so I have to record it again. So saying that, I do think they're going to be still a bit more momentum in this one. So saying that, I did actually, before I had all the predictions written down, before they got a new manager, I had as 2-2. But saying that, now they have a new manager, I still think it's going to be tight, but I'm going to go for like a 3-2. I know that doesn't sound tight, but it's going to be one of those games where we're going to be a bit, New York Red Bulls going to be really, really, really up for it, whereas Inter Miami are as well. So after that 3-2 loss to those lads. So that's my predictions. Next one, Columbus Crew against Montreal. Can't really say much about this one. Columbus Crew are impressive at the moment, even though that they haven't got Darlene Nagbe. They've drew and lost their last 2 games, but they're still pretty good, and they're coming up against a Montreal team who are still not 100% sure on how they play. So I'm going to go for like a 3-0 win. Club is, if when they get Nagby back, they're going to be super, and I'm not 100% sure when he comes back. God knows. So the next one is New England Revolution against Toronto. Toronto beat annoyingly Philadelphia, where I would have thought there's going to be a tighter game. They're coming as New England Revolution. I thought they would have done not too bad their last game. They are sitting 10th, which is not too bad for them. They're above LAFC, which is interesting. You know they are with that Carlos Vela. So saying that, this will be an interesting one, but I think Toronto should really win this one, so I'm going to go for like a 3-1 win. I think New England shall get a goal, but I think Toronto will probably be a bit too strong for them. Next one, Philadelphia against Cincinnati. Philadelphia are my, not going to say dark horses, are my kind of favourites to win the MLS Cup. So I'm kind of saying that they're going to win this game, and I will say they're going to win this game because Cincinnati aren't doing all that great. So I'm going to go for like I do think they will score a goal, so I'm going to go for like a 3-1 win. Philadelphia are just kind of strong at the moment, and that kind of a loss against Toronto was kind of a bit of a weird one, but Toronto are in around them as well. So saying that, the next one is Houston against FC Dallas. I keep saying now, as Houston has sold their best player, that they're going to struggle in this one, and I do think they're going to struggle against FC Dallas, who are very much well above them in the season. So I'm going to go for like a 1-0 win to FC Dallas, even though they are away from home. But I think the FC Dallas haven't been shooken to the core, as it were. They just kind of know how they're probably going to win this Texas Derby. So I'm going to go for 1-0. The next one is New York City, these lads, against DC United. Poor DC United. So I'm going to go for like a 2-0 win to New York City. I think they played one other game before, and I would have went. DC United actually may win this one. They didn't. So I'm going to go for like a 2-0. Sorry, DC United. The next one, Sporting Kansas City against Chicago Fire. Sporting Kansas City are kind of weird this season. They won their last game, where Chicago Fire, I think, drew 2-0. So saying that, Sporting Kansas City are probably the better team in this one, but I think Chicago Fire are very weird this season. So this is probably the game where they could get a result. So I'm going to go for like a 2-2 draw. I'm not fussed on Sporting Kansas City as a consistent team to be really beating the teams at the bottom half, if that makes any sense. Next one is Colorado against LAFC. I went for a wee shocker on this one. Orlando haven't, as I said, Colorado are like 14th in the league, and they won their last two games, which was against San Jose and LA Galaxy. They beat San Jose 5-0, which was pretty impressive, and they beat LA Galaxy 2-0 away from home. So they're coming up against an LAFC team who wiped the floor with what was it again? Real Salt Lake 3-1. So I'm kind of going to go for a similar, but not that similar. I'm going to go for like 1-1. I do think Colorado can have a good result in this one, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. There's a lot of teams and games. Seattle Sounders against Real Salt Lake. Seattle Sounders probably should win this one, so I'm going to go for a 4-1. Seattle Sounders are just at that stage of the season now. They're starting to pick up results, start picking up results, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are in a good shout for the Supporters' Shield this season. Definitely in the West. They're definitely going to top the West, I mean, that's for sure. And the next one is LA Galaxy against Portland Timbers. LA Galaxy, as I said, are a very strange team at the moment. They've lost their last 4 games. Who against? San Jose, Seattle, Real Salt Lake, and Colorado. So they're coming up against the Portland Tim, who are 6th in the league, which would you Adam and Eve. So yeah, I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Portland. They're just probably in a better run of form at the moment, even though they are away from home. But without fans, it doesn't really matter. So 2-1 win to Portland. And the last one is San Jose against Vancouver. You know, save the best to last, as they say. So San Jose, who are kind of not in a great mood, even though they won their last 2 games, which isn't too bad. They beat LA Galaxy and beat LAFC. So they beat the 2 LA teams, and now they're coming up against Vancouver, who are below them, who lost their last 3 games against Seattle, Portland and LAFC. They got beat by Seattle 3-0, and then they got 3-1, sorry. Then lost Portland 1-0, and then got stuffed by LAFC 6-0. So saying that, San Jose probably could win this one, so I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win. I just think they're in a better run of form, and they should win this one 2-1. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what your predictions will be. I'd like to hear them, and I shall chat to you on Wednesday. No, today's. See you on Friday or Saturday. Bye now.